This program is part of the Infinite Potato Alliance. Visit us at infinitepotato.com.
I'm Jared Stern. I think people should listen because we're desperate for attention right now.
I'm also Jared Stern. This is what I like to call an exercise in benign narcissism.
And you're between two Sterns. Welcome back.
Welcome back to all the listeners who are listening. You know what? I don't think we got a chance to say this on the 4-year anniversary show, but Happy New Year.
It was
New
New
Year.
Right. Year.
Sure.
And as much happiness as can be derived from that.
Yes.
Happy New Year, happy anniversary, and also a happy anniversary to all of you who have been with us for many, many years as well.
Thanks for sticking around. We really appreciate it.
I got to tell you, after a lot of positive feedback from the Hot Ones episode, a lot of positive feedback to the unaired footage that I edited together, and I had forgotten how much I hum and sing in those, because that's one of the funniest parts about that is just the number of times, and I'm not going to put together a montage of this. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo, I love you. The number of times that as you intro in, like back in the day when we were doing the Zooms, just whatever the fuck I was talking about before you showed up on camera. And now I'll say, and I will edit that in right now if I decide to edit it in.
Well,
and if I don't decide to edit it in, then we'll just go, I'm not going to edit it in right now. I'm Jared Stern, waiting for Jared Stern. Don't give up your whiskey and beer. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. The pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. Recording, select a speaker. Recording, select a speaker. Recording with the microphone and the thing and the stuff. Recorder, what driver's heard. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Guess who's back? Back again. Jared's back. Tell a friend. Jared's back. Jared's back. Jared's back. Jared's back. Jared's back. Ba-do-da. Boom, 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 boom. Ba-do-do-da. Bum, 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 bum. And we invite, and we copy the link, and we go to Facebook, send it to Jared, and we're talking to each other right here. Between two Sterns. That's not our theme song. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I'll say this to the listeners who are listening. If you tried to consume our last episode with just your ears, you were missing out.
Yeah.
Okay? This podcast has been a video podcast for about 10 episodes now, full time.
It's been a top 30% on Spotify.
Right.
Video podcast.
Top 30% of people on Spotify are watching this stuff.
And once again, I will continue to make this claim. We don't know where in that top 30 we land.
No.
We could be in the top 5.
That's true.
Top 5 is the top 30.
It is.
So is the top 1.
It's included.
So we could be anywhere between the top video podcast on Spotify or right around the top 30%.
I listen for all of the podcasts that are available, because podcasts are literally a dime a dozen these days. Everyone has a podcast for any number of topics and any number of genres that you could possibly think of.
Yes.
So I'm happy that we made the top 30% of whatever dreck happens to be out there.
I'm going to say a C- and a C of mediocre podcasts is pretty solid to me.
C- is also a pretty Jared Stern grade.
I was going to say,
I think.
On the Jared Stern curve, I think a C- is like a B+.
Yeah, sure. If you're grading on a curve, which I am. But no, I mean, if you haven't gotten a chance to go back and actually watch the episode, please do yourself a favor and watch the episode, because you are missing out on quite a bit if you just try and listen.
And if the Spotify screen is too small on your phone, YouTube. Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah, we're available there too. So, new year, new spot, new us, new
look at the Between Two Stern studio,
new astronaut
with overhead lighting. Yeah, no longer backlit by the window behind us.
I will say something about this overhead lighting though, and this is for our new video listeners. Apparently, my nose is reflective in a spot that I was not expecting.
I'm also I'm right down here. Which, by the way, it's really a matter of where you're leaning back in a chair. I went out to get my vision checked to get new glasses yesterday, and my overall purpose of getting new glasses is twofold. One, to see better, and two, to find a pair of glasses that don't make my nose look enormous. Because when I put glasses on, because I'm so fair-featured and they're so dark, my nose pops out like one of those mustache glasses thing. Yeah.
Very Mr. Potato Heady.
Very Mr. Potato Head.
So do you have stuff?
I have an anecdote. Mine is anecdotal.
Okay, I have two things.
That's true.
That I'd like to share with the listeners who are listening, especially those who've been with us since the very beginning. Cast your minds back.
Yes.
To episode, 20-ish, when we were chasing director Jared Stern. leading up to that. And we did not yet know how to reach him. And so, in my infinite wisdom, I was just casting a wide net, trying to find any Jared Stern I could that could lead us to director Jared Stern. And in doing that, I sent an email to jaredstern@gmail.com thinking that he owned the Holy Grail email address.
Of all of the Jared Sterns that we have interviewed, there are a couple of just standard questions that every one of them has asked us. Number one is, did we have a nickname? Number two is, how did this podcast start? But one of the questions they ask is, do one of you have jaredstern@gmail.com? Because we all want it.
Right.
That's the mecca right there.
But here's the thing. Some of you may remember, those of you who've been with us since the very beginning remember, that I got a response to that email.
Yeah.
And it was from a Jared Stern who lives in South Africa.
That's right.
And we were like, holy shit, South African Jared Stern, let's make this happen. This was director Jared Stern first, South African Jared Stern very much second. And then life gets in the way, I guess, because I had had various responses back and forth with him, and we were super excited, and then he dropped off the fucking edge of the world.
This was Jared's first big ghosting, and it's tough. It's the first time you've connected with someone on the internet, you're having good dialogue back and forth, you got good conversation, then out of nowhere they disappear, and it hurts.
So
it hurts.
But then he came back. His head then popped out from the ether and said hello once again, because apparently he was dealing with some health issues.
Yeah.
And we're like, great, so happy to hear that you're still around and still interested. So we'll talk to you. And that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think it's important to note that you could take the text of what Jared is saying and you could use it as almost a one-for-one for how men kind of gaslight and string women along on the internet.
What?
We were really into each other, and then he started ghosting me, and then he came back and said, oh, it was a bunch of medical issues. And it's like, okay, I understand. And then he disappeared for another 2 years.
I am going to bring up the email.
This is not to say that this person doesn't exist. It's just my entire experience with it has been the best parallel I could possibly.
Back in 2023, I said...
He has the receipts.
Of course I do. It's all right. It's right here. We were trying to get...
You guys know. He's got the receipts.
Always.
Yeah.
I was trying to get him to be a part of episode 100.
Yeah.
And he responded, and he said, hi, Jared. I'm alive and well. Hang on. I am keen to it. Then we said, chat soon. And then he said, I've listened to some podcasts, and they're great. I see you had the fake South African who moved to Australia. He was referring to Australian Jared Stern.
Well, you're not real until you come on the podcast.
Right.
So.
And then nothing for for a year.
Yeah.
And then finally on December 16th, I basically just emailed him and said, "Are you still alive?"
Yeah.
And then he gets back and says, "Barely. Sorry, I've been through some medical shit, but on the other side of it now." And then he asked the question, is this going to be like the Joe Rogan show where we talk for 4 hours and smoke marijuana?
It can be if it gets him on the podcast.
Yeah. Anyway, so right now, the last thing I said was, getting a date set. And basically, since he's 7 hours ahead of us, we need to record on Saturday. Saturday noon. We'll accommodate him to make things easier.
Sure.
And he said Saturday works for me.
Wonderful.
And then I've emailed it back with a couple of other details, and I haven't gotten a response.
Girls, you know what it's like. The moment you decide to make an actual date and go, when are we actually going to meet up? That's when the guy is like, oh, I'm so sorry, I got so busy with work. And so.
In any case, see, the African Jared Stern is back in play.
I'm telling you, I wish that this was the plot line of something I had done years ago, which was created a fake Jared Stern, that I'm the one who has this email account, and I know it's, because it's not the case, I can bring this up, but if there was ever going to be a finale of this show, it was going to be that this guy was going to come on, and it turns out it was me the whole time.
My God.
Like Oz behind the curtain.
Yeah, no, that would have been fantastic. It's only a shame that you didn't have the
didn't
forethought
have the
to think that we'd be sticking with this fucking thing for 4 years.
Well, I didn't have the email address either, so that would be also
That's
a crucial
also,
component
yeah,
as well.
that is a crucial component.
So that's update number 1. We might have another Jared Stern coming on board.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Hopefully within the next couple episodes.
Yeah.
We may have See the African Jared Stern actually on the show, our most recent international Jared Stern, the third in a series of international Jared Sterns. The other thing is just kind of an update of something of a thing that I am doing, and I've been kind of mum on this. I've only told 2 or 3 people because I wasn't sure I was gonna actually follow through with it.
Wait, before we do this, am I one of those people who was told?
No, I don't.
Because I want to make sure my reaction is appropriate, where I'm like, oh my God, and you don't turn to me and be like, I told you about this.
I don't think I've told you about this.
Okay, great. Then I get to be both surprised and not know what's going on.
And so, all right. So, John Irons and I are writing a book.
Really?
Yes. Not like a novel or anything,
Yeah.
but like a novelty kind of book.
Sure.
Because John Irons is loves haiku. Big fan of haiku.
Yes.
If you've had any interactions with John Irons, a lot of times it's in the form of a haiku. Anyway, maybe a year ago, I came to the realization that haiku and Yo Mama jokes, the opening line of both, are 5 syllables. Yo Mama so blank, and whatever 5 syllables are for a haiku. Mm-hmm. So, we are in the process of putting together a novelty coffee table book, and the working title is 850 Esoteric Syllables About Yo Mama. And it's going to be 50 different Yo Mama haiku.
So first of all, that's very impressive. Are you guys going to be writing each of them, or is ChatGPT going to be helping it?
No. Fuck you. This is not an AI.
I've already made
anything.
this book with ChatGPT at this point.
And that's part of the reason why I didn't want to actually say it out loud.
No, of course, yeah.
On a podcast listened to by so many people. But we're about 80% of the way written.
Okay.
And we've been making I had 5 of them written 3 months ago, and now it's just all kind of coming to flood now.
Are you using any classics, or are you writing them all from scratch?
We're writing them all from scratch. The idea is we're taking something, a very crass joke form,
sure,
elevating it with the poetry of the haiku to make them all kind of just like elevated Yo Mama jokes. None of them are like mean-spirited.
Well,
It's just kind of silly.
That's where I was going to go with this. I think this is a very, very funny idea. If I might ask a question, is there any concern with the focus only being on the mama and not being on any other?
That's what the joke is.
Okay.
The joke is Yo Mama So blank.
Gotcha.
Now we're avoiding, like we're limited by a couple different things.
Sure.
Obviously, I think there is real creativity when you are given a limitation, and 17 syllables is a hell of a limitation.
Agreed.
And also, we can only use one syllable adjectives. But, and this is something that John kind of gave as a note, we're staying away from the stuff that's very pejorative, like fat. We're not using Yo Mama So fat. We're not using Yo Mama So poor. Stuff like that.
So, are you comfortable giving an example of what a potential adjective you can use in that scenario
Yeah,
is?
so we have 10 different ones. We're doing 5 under each umbrella.
Gotcha.
We've got Yo Mama So big, Yo Mama So broke, Yo Mama So dumb, Yo Mama So gross, and I there's a couple other ones in there. But we have 10 adjectives that we're using.
I want to reiterate once again that I'm not saying that this is necessarily a bad idea. My question is, do you want me to be me about this right now?
I don't understand what the problem is.
No, I'm not. There's no problem. There's no problem.
Be you. Go ahead. Be you about this, please. I want to hear what problems you have.
I don't have any problems. I just you entered into this by saying we're staying away from things like fat and poor.
Right.
But then wouldn't big and
Those
broke be parallels to those two?
They are parallels, but they are nicer ways of
Okay.
saying those things.
So what you're saying is you're not avoiding the topic, you're just avoiding the more aggressive form of the word to
Right,
describe
but
it.
we're also not being like super insulting. Hang on one second. I'll see if I can find.
It's okay. No, I think it was just
I will give you an example
just a voice for the listeners who are listening.
I understand.
to be in the room and be like, well, okay.
You know what?
Don't worry. I'm getting my comeuppance with my anecdote, trust me.
All I ask is just a little support.
I think it's a very, very good idea.
Yo Mama So big, this style of poetry should be renamed kaiju.
Okay. All right. So it's tongue in cheek.
See, yeah,
I got you.
That's the
I
kind
got
of
you.
tone.
I got you. Okay. Okay.
Yo Mama So big, the local buffet changed names to all you should eat.
Okay. Okay.
That's the tone.
I understand now.
Silly.
And I do think that big is an appropriate adjustment from Well, that's really cool. When are you guys looking to publish?
We have plans, but again, you make plans and God laughs. Right now, the goal is to have all of the haiku written by the end of the month.
Okay.
We're well on track for that. And then it's a question of finding out how to format it, print it, just get it all typeset and everything like that. I looked up copywriting. That's very easy. It only costs like $60 to get it registered at the National Copyright Office. So the goal is to announce it. Although we're announcing it announcing it right now. We want to officially say it's coming out on National Haiku Day, which is April 17th, and we'd like to have it available for Mother's Day.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think that's the plan I have in my head.
I think that's. Are you gonna? If you're on this tight of a time crunch, I can't imagine. But you're not gonna illustrate it. It's just.
I don't know yet. Right now.
Watercolor, something soft.
Listen. If we could get something like that with some kind of the Asian calligraphy kind of thing, I'm happy to go that route. Right now, I have the font that we're using is kind of like that kind of look to it.
Yeah. Papyrus.
It's papyrus, right? Exactly. No, that's not papyrus. But in any case, I'm super excited about it.
This is really exciting.
And I have visions of merchandising opportunities beyond our wildest dreams.
And another thing that you set your mind out to do and accomplish.
No, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. It's something that it was a kernel of an idea that I had in my head, and now it looks like it might actually be a thing.
That's pretty cool.
Much like this podcast.
That's pretty cool.
So,
congratulations. Good for you.
Don't congratulate me yet. It hasn't happened yet. But
You yet. I'm just the idea of a congratulation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A kernel of an idea of a congratulations that might hopefully happen. So what's your anecdote?
My life has become just like I'm living like a full-blown Seinfeld episode right now.
Okay.
Or Curb Your Enthusiasm episode, whatever you want to call it. Last week, middle of last week, I was in Chicago for an offsite for work. Great being offsite with my team that works at the company that I will not say on this podcast.
Nope.
But I think we've ruled out like U-Haul and FedEx. I think I've had issues with them during the time I've gotten hired. Yeah. So on my way back on the flight, get back around 9 o'clock at night, get in my car. I'm driving home from Reagan Airport. It's like I'm like 17 minutes out from my home. And all of a sudden, I feel something.
Feel something where?
Everywhere. I need to use the bathroom so badly.
Oh no.
That I look and see that I'm 14 minutes from home and that's not enough time. In fact, I'm on like GW Parkway.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly where you are coming from DCA.
And I'm like, I don't even know if I have enough time to get to a place that might have a bathroom. Now, the tone I'm using should indicate what kind of bathroom use I need to use.
No.
Because built biologically the way I am, if we're talking about one thing, really not as much of a problem as you can see. So obviously we're in the other camp right now.
We are certainly in the other camp.
So I'm coming off of the road and I'm like, the first building that has lights on it, be it commercial or residential, is where I'm pulling off into.
So hang on one second. So you exited off from the GW Parkway.
Yeah.
Did you exit onto 395 South?
No. I'm coming off onto I want to say like 50 or something, like one of those roads. All I know is off to the side, I see a little shopping center, little parking lot, and on two buildings have lights on.
Okay.
One is a CVS, and then across from the CVS is a Cold Stone Creamery.
Okay.
Now, it is
9 o'clock at night.
10 of 10 at night.
Oh, okay, yeah, later than that now.
On a Thursday in January.
Okay, so the Cold Stone probably not open late.
I went CVS.
Okay, good call.
We're giving out shots, we're giving out meds. Gotta have a bathroom there just in case. So I get out of my car, and I'm in that place where my body's like, okay, we can hold this for a couple more minutes.
But you better be waddling
but
towards
you better
some
be going
place where we can put
towards
this.
destination.
Yeah.
And it's freezing out, by the way.
Yeah.
So I walk into the CVS, I do a quick scan, and there are no bathrooms. There are like 7 people in the CVS, like customers shopping around. No bathrooms.
At all?
Nothing. Like I scanned everywhere, I looked everywhere.
Did you ask?
In order for me to ask, I would have had to have cut in front of people at the pharmacy counter to ask the question. And at that point, I didn't have the time to start a negotiation about whether or not they had a bathroom. So I turn around and I walk outside. Now, I'm standing across from the Cold Stone. It's like, 20 degrees out, 18 degrees out. And I'm sitting there going, okay, where is the quietest location outside that I can go at this point?
Did you dump outside?
So as I'm panicking, I'm like kind of out my car, I'm walking toward, I see the door of the Cold Stone open, and some person is walking out with a bag.
Oh, okay, so it's open.
And so now, I've already been given grace period by my body. There's no more room for negotiation.
Right.
So now I start moving, and that moving becomes that limp skip that we've all done.
Sure.
Where it's like, okay.
You don't want to create too much friction
Correct.
in the back because you never know if a mild escape might happen.
You need to keep as much of your legs closed as possible, and really it's just ankles and below. I'm taking care of the movement at that point. I get to the door, I thrust open the door.
Thrust.
I look, and the bathroom is one bathroom door on the other side of the store facing me. Maybe 20 feet.
Okay.
The longest 20 feet of my life.
Did you make it, is the question.
I open up the door. There are 2 kids, couldn't have been older than 20, standing in the space between me and the bathroom sweeping. The lights, they turned up to the maximum brightness that they possibly could, I imagine. and they look at me, and as they open their mouth to speak, in what I assume is to tell me, we're closed and no longer serving ice cream.
I don't care.
I looked at both of them, pointed at the bathroom door, and said, bathroom. And then chassed past them as I tried to keep my legs as closed as possible. I opened the door. Now, by the way, when I got to the door, I understood something, which was if I got to that bathroom door and the door was locked, it was happening where I was standing.
Well, but at least they were sweeping up. At least they had cleaning receptacles right there, just in case.
If anything delayed my progress getting to that door, it was happening wherever.
Oh, but you need a code.
So I get there, and my handle on the door, I push down, unoccupied, open up, close, jump, sit down, and to say that I had a mildly religious experience on this toilet, both the relief and the release, all at the same time. Like, I'm sweating. It was just one of those moments where I couldn't have been more grateful for what had occurred, especially given the fact that one of the things that was going to frustrate me the most is I was wearing my brand new jeans. I bought them like a week ago.
Oh, no.
They were great jeans. I love these jeans. Fantastic jeans. Love these jeans. Found them like the last pair. They're off online. It doesn't matter. Been looking. I tried to find these jeans a year ago. It doesn't matter my journey with these jeans. The point was,
You were willing to lose them.
I didn't want to lose the jeans. Like, whatever sacrifice I was making along the way, it couldn't have been into the jeans.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting there. I must have been in there for 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know. Time's an illusion. But I was there for a long time. I concluded. And then I cleaned the entire toilet for them. I got paper towels, and to me, they could. To me, first of all, it wasn't that dirty. But I didn't know where mine started and someone else's ended.
Okay.
And no, your reaction isn't appropriate. To me, they could have said no, but there was an understanding that I needed something, and I'm not going to make them. So I cleaned up a little bit.
Okay.
Not that it wasn't like a huge, but cleaned up. And then as I stood up, I realized the zipper on my pants had broken.
Oh, no.
I sat down with such a ferocity that the zipper ripped apart on my pants. So I button up, clean up, I walk out of the bathroom, and one of the kids is now standing on the other side behind the counter and looks at me, and I look at him, and I just say, hey, thank you. And he responded as if he understood every nuance of that thank you with, you're welcome.
Yeah. Every single person has been in that situation where you just got off a flight and you're on the drive home and you think you're safe.
You think you're safe.
You think you're safe, and then your body has other plans.
Well, I thought it was food poisoning at first, and then I found out from everyone about this neurovirus thing, and I was like, oh, well, the suddenness by which it came on seems like it might have skewed norovirus. So that's not where my Seinfeldian situation
Oh, there's
ends.
more.
So now this zipper is broken on these pants I like quite a bit. So I get the zipper fixed. So there's a cleaner's tailor's right around the corner from me.
Okay.
And I bought the jeans at the Leesburg outlets, so it's 40 minutes away. So they didn't have another pair in stock. I looked online on the store. They didn't have another pair in stock, so I was like, I'll just get the zipper repaired.
Okay.
So I go in, and very, 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 very sweet woman. Can I have the zipper fixed? She goes, oh, yeah. And a bit of a language barrier. And when I say a bit, I mean a significant language barrier.
Yeah.
But we both understood zipper fixed. Great.
Sure.
$28. Great, that's a steal. Let me have your card. Oh, you prepay.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Prepay for it. I come back to my apartment. I'm explaining this to my girlfriend, and she goes, "What are you talking? How much did you pay for the pants?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
that seems like.
And I was like, well, I don't know, $59.
So you paid half of the. You paid for one pant leg for the zipper.
You will return everything to Amazon. You will you return things constantly. Yet you're paying for the zipper for these pants. I was like, well, She's like, did you even try? And I was like, I don't want to drive all the way back out there. She's like, it just seems odd. Well, the problem is now it got in my head. And I was like, why the fuck am I paying?
Did you go back?
Why am I paying half the price for this? So I reached out to the company that sold the pants.
Okay.
And I said, here's the situation. They go, yeah, that's not a problem. We can either send you a replacement or refund you, but we need a picture of the broken zipper.
Well, not anymore.
And I go,
oops.
Okay. So it was only the next day. So I went to the cleaners.
When did they say it would be ready?
Wednesday. So I dropped them off on Saturday.
Oh, okay. So that's a wide berth.
I dropped them off on Friday. They said they would be ready Wednesday. Okay. I went back Saturday.
Sure.
Again, very, very sweet woman. Significant language barrier.
Sure.
I'm trying to explain to her that I need the pants back to try and return the pants.
Uh-huh.
And while I appreciate the service that was being offered, I want the pants back so I can return them. And she goes, okay, and takes out a business card and writes 28 on it, $, IOU, and her name. She goes, credit. And I go, okay. But
I still need the pants.
No, she gave me the pants back.
Okay.
But if I don't need the pants repaired, can I get that back on my card?
Yeah.
Like, it's good for a temporary credit, but can I get it back on my card? And she goes, my son will have to do that. I go, right, that's fine. I just need to know what my options are. So take the pants, think everything's fine. I go back, talk to the company. Oh, Tommy Hilfiger has maybe the greatest customer service I've ever. I called them not expecting to speak to a human. Both times I spoke directly to a human. Just the sweetest people in the world.
You spoke to Tommy himself.
The sweetest people in the world. Completely talked about, oh, well, we can't send you the pants, but we can refund you for the pants.
Okay, great.
Great, refund me for the pants. I go, great, refund me for the pants. I'll take it over. I already got a place that's going to do the zipper, so that's no big deal. Got my 28 IOU, walk in. So I take the pants back into the cleaners.
Uh-huh.
And she was not happy with me at all. Because I guess they had already refunded me the money because she thought I was asking for the money back already. And I was like, oh no, what I meant was I need pictures of the pants. Again, nobody's fault. Significant language barrier.
Yes.
I just needed the money to take the picture but now I need it. And she goes, well, I already refunded it to you, and turned it around and showed me on the thing. And I was like, well, can we pay it again? I'll pay it again.
Pay it again? Yeah, why not?
And she goes, no. And I go, what? She goes, no. Too much of a hassle, you.
Oh.
And I was like, wow.
They have the right to use service.
I was like, please, I'll pay extra. She goes, no. I was like, oh. And she goes, no, you're too much of a hassle. Bye. Yeah. And I was like,
you know what? She's not wrong.
So
there's
now
not someplace else that can repair this.
It is for $4 more. So now I'm paying $32 for this.
But you're getting the money back on the jeans.
I am getting the money back on the jeans, but the point is, I'm paying $32. But here's the other thing, and this is something else I suspected. The other place I'm paying $32 for, I pay after I pick up the fucking pants. That's prepay shit. I'm not prepaying for the service. I want to see how good the zipper is before. So anyway, what could have been a Seinfeldian, what I imagine is the Larry David of that situation, or the Kramer of that situation, dressing up in disguise to try and convince them, because they're the best at doing zippers and pants and whatnot.
Sure. Best in the state.
But now my pants are sitting down the street and they'll be done on Monday.
I'm very happy for you and your non-shattered pants.
Yeah. Me too. Me too, bud. It was touch and go there for a second.
Well, you know what? If you're going to start the year off,
I prefer
and make sure you got nowhere to go but up.
It's true.
Shit in your pants might be the way to do it.
You know what the other thing about this is
that
was really like kind of funny and not funny in its own way. So I'm a chronic overpacker for things. Like not and my girlfriend and I were playing one of those games where like you draw a card and you ask a question about the other person, you kind of learn. And one of the questions was like, what's something about you that you do that other people wouldn't do or would disagree or not do? And her response was like, well, you love to overpack. So that's something other people don't do. And I was like, do you think I love that? I hate that I do this. I hate that my brain is like, well, what if this type of thing? And so on this bit, we had played this game a couple weeks ago. On this business trip, I was like, I will not overpack.
Okay.
I'm there for one night. I only need one pair of jeans.
That's fine.
I'm constantly bringing backup pairs of jeans as if something's going to happen. And if that something's going to happen, like I'm going to be in a place where I can't get another pair of pants if I need it.
Okay.
And this near miss in the car has shown me that you always bring a backup pair of pants. Always bring a backup pair of pants.
I mean, if your bowels are that...
It was the neurovirus. It was like... When I say this thing came out of
By the way,
nowhere,
are you saying norovirus or neurovirus?
I'm trying to say it so ambiguously that it can round in whatever direction is correct. I think
because it is noro, N-O-R-O.
Sure, and that's how I was saying it. It's just, sometimes that's how I say words in order to round in the correct direction. With veracity. But yeah, that was my big near miss as far as
Well, allow me to congratulate you.
Thank you.
Way to not shit your pants in a Cold Stone Creamery.
I will never speak ill of Cold Stone Creamery again.
Ever again.
I think that there's one of those like elements where like sometimes people will kind of walk into an establishment and be like, hey, do you mind if I use the bathroom? And they're like, fuck off. But like the way in which I stated that the bathroom needed to occur was so clear that there was no...
Are you aware of how the sizes are named at a Cold Stone Creamery?
No.
Okay. So you know how like at Starbucks they have like tall and venti and all that stuff?
Probably.
Well, there are 3 different sizes at a Cold Stone
I
Creamery.
think I do know this. Is it...
It's small as like it.
Yep.
Medium is love it. Large is gotta have it. And motherfucker, you gotta have it.
I had to have it.
You had to have it. You ordered a large at the Cold Stone Creamery.
It's between two it's between two sterns. Boom. Ba-doom. Ba-doom. Ba-ba-da-doom. Bum. Ba-ba-doom. Bum-ba-doom. Between two stum bum ba dum bum between two bum ba da ba bum bum between two bum ba da bum ba the podcast bum ba da that's between two sterns. Boom.